Hi, this is Jindo. Welcome to Tree Leaf. I was reading a discussion on the internet about how to shikantaza, about whether it's an active method or a passive method. And some very, very good advice was being given. All of it very wise. But you know, in my heart I had to say, something is lacking. Something is missing from what is being said. Actually, it was a discussion with teachers and students, and sometimes the students were saying some very wise things, and I thought, actually, the teachers might have been leaving something vital out. And what was missing? What was being left out? That nothing can be missing, nothing can be left out from a moment of Zazen. That Zazen is the Buddha realized. It is a sacred act, whole, complete, with not one drop to add, not one drop to take away. It is the whole enchilada. And if you miss that, if you don't tell that to students, then perhaps it's just meditation, wet toast, a wimpy thing. The fire is lacking its light and heat. You know, I don't have a trademark on shikantaza. I'm just talking as one voice. And what's more, many good roads up the non-mountain, many medicines for different patients with different ills. But if you're a Soto teacher and practitioner teaching shikantaza, you must teach that it is a sacred doing. I often say holy, holy, whole. Holy as in completely, all time and space in each instant of sitting. And holy, holy, whole, holy as in holy, holy, hallelujah. It is a sacred doing. Master Dogen, and again, I don't have the last word on Master Dogen, but Master Dogen, I'm pretty sure, saw it as a sacred doing. Just look at Fukan Zazengi, which was up for discussion. I mean, there is the one little paragraph in the middle about how to cross the legs and how to put the hands, but most of it is about how all the ancestors and all the Buddhas are a moment of sitting. The tiger finds his lair, the dragon takes to the water, there is no need to cross two dusty lands. It is a jewel. It is pristine. It is all the bhumis transcended, all the bodhisattva stages. It is nirvana. It is satori. It is the pure land visited and leapt beyond. Why? Why do we sit Zazen as a sacred act, whole, complete, the perfect doing, the only place to be in all time and all space, the one thing to sit, the one place to sit? Why do we sit this way? It's not a method. It's a non-method, because it's the self, the little pesky self in us that demands that we want to get someplace. We need something. There's a hole to fill. There's something lacking. There's something missing. It's that self. And we take that away from the self by sitting with no place to get, no place to transcend, nothing to lack. And the self is out of a job. Drops away. Body, mind drops away. It's not a method. And by seeing it not as a method, but as a realization, a completeness, the arrival, the destination, here, it's a pretty damn good method. You know, the advice that's being given about focusing on the breath, good advice. Following the breath, some people do that. Some people put the mind on the hara, or on the top of the head as Master Kazan recommended. All good. Thoughts come, just don't grab on, just don't latch. All good. But if you stop there with the explanation, people are going to think that's the point. That it's about getting some quietude, some feeling of wholeness, some feeling of relaxation or peace. It's much more than that. That's like saying that the point of the whole voyage is cleaning the windshield. That it's putting on your boots and tying your laces when you miss the real hike. And it's a hike up the mountain where every step is a total arrival. Every step by step is Buddha's footprint. If you leave that out, you're not teaching shikantaza, in my view, limited view, only one voice. Others are sure to disagree, I think. All beautiful ways for different people, but you're just teaching perhaps just meditation. We sit, allowing the thoughts to go. In my way of sitting that I encourage in our Sangha, we sit with open, wide spaciousness, because I think that if students get too much into practicing on the breath, then they think that the point is to just get concentration and wholeness. And when we sit with wide, boundless spaciousness, nothing is pushed away. Everything is whole and us. But it doesn't matter. If you talk about the posture, how the posture shall be. Balanced posture is vital because body and mind are one. But, in Japan they sometimes obsess about the posture, and they sit so militaristically. In our Sangha, and we don't have a monopoly on this, we encourage a constantly changing, fluid, balanced way of sitting. Not rigid, not militaristic. And as a matter of fact, you can sit in a chair in a balanced way. You can sit on a zafu. You can sit seiza. If, this is the point, it should be balanced so that the body is, not an issue, but it must be sacred sitting. If you're going to sit on the zafu, it's the Buddha sitting on the zafu. If you're sitting in a chair, it's Vimalakarti's throne. If you're flying through the air, it is Bodhisattva's flying through clouds, Manjusri on his elephant. This is how we sit. And we sit not to get some state, some experience, some wholeness. We sit to realize the wholeness is sacred, such that when we rise from the zafu and go by the day and day, it is all a sacred act, whole and complete. Changing the baby's diaper, walking down the street, sneezing and blowing your nose. It's all the Buddha sneezing and blowing his nose, you see, my friend. This is what must not be left out, because the self wants to say that something is left out. The self says it needs to feel something. It needs a peace. But what is attained by dropping all need to attain to the marrow, dropping all goals, is that there is a wholeness that includes that which is whole and all the broken shards. And there's a peace that holds both peace and war. Because nothing is lacking, nothing is demanded, nothing has to be the way we desire. We say the world should be the way we want. We need this. We want it to be that way. And dukkha is the self's dissatisfaction with how things are. Well, when we sit fully and in total wholeness and satisfaction with how things are. And dukkha has not a square inch on which to stand. If you leave that out, of the discussion of shikantaza in my limited view, and that's all it is. It's milk toast. It's meditation to relax, to attain some concentration, maybe to experience some wholeness, but it's not what it could be. Just one opinion. Shall we sit with that? Sit the whole enchilada realized? All the Buddhas and ancestors?